there's something inside you that speaks softly, gently, sometimes with a whisper that you can barely hear. Other times, it's like a fire in your chest that won't let you rest until you listen. That is your intuition. And what if I told you that your intuition is not just a random feeling? What if I told you that God Himself uses it to guide you through life's uncertain roads? Before we dive deeper, if you've ever felt those silent nudges in your heart and wondered if they were from God, then you're in the right place. Subscribe to this channel right now, because this is more than just a video. It's a journey of discovering how God speaks to your spirit. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. Many people think intuition is just an instinct or a gut feeling, but it's so much more than that. It's the way God gently reaches past the noise of the world and speaks directly to your soul. Imagine this. Your mind is filled with questions, doubts, and noise. But deep beneath all of that, there's a stillness where God's voice echoes. Sometimes it comes as peace about a decision. Sometimes it's an uneasy feeling telling you, don't go there. Have you ever felt pulled in one direction for no logical reason, and later discovered it was the perfect path? Or felt an unexplained discomfort about a person or a place, only to find out later that it was a dangerous situation? These are not coincidences. They're often the Holy Spirit stirring your intuition, trying to protect you, guide you, and align you with the plans God has for your life. The problem is, we live in a world that worships logic and reason. We're taught to analyze every detail and dismiss anything that can't be explained. But God's ways are higher than ours. And sometimes He chooses to speak to us through feelings rather than words. That's why intuition is sacred. It's a language that bypasses the mind and goes straight to the spirit. I want you to remember something very important. When God places intuition inside you, it's because He knows things you don't. He sees what's ahead. He knows who is real and who is pretending. He knows where danger hides. And because He loves you, He places invisible road signs in your spirit, whispers, nudges, inner alarms, to keep you safe and to lead you to blessings you could never imagine. And here's the beautiful part. The more you listen to those gentle inner signals, the stronger your connection with God becomes. It's like tuning a radio. The first time you try, it's full of static. But with practice, you learn how to fine-tune the dial until the voice comes through clearly. That's how it is with God's guidance through intuition. It might feel faint at first, but the more you honor it, the clearer it gets. Are you feeling this so far? Because I believe God is already speaking to someone as they watch this video. Maybe that someone is you, so stay with me, because in a moment, I'm going to share how you can tell the difference between your own thoughts and the intuition God places in your spirit. But first, if this message is stirring something inside you, if you feel a connection, right now, hit the like button and share this video with someone who might need to hear this. You might be the reason God reaches another heart today. So, how can you tell if it's truly God speaking through your intuition? Or just your own thoughts, your fears, or even your desires whispering back to you? This question is so important because not every feeling inside you comes from the divine. Sometimes our own wounds, past experiences, and anxieties try to disguise themselves as instinct. Here's one of the biggest clues. God's intuition carries peace, even when it doesn't make logical sense. If you feel a deep, settled calm in your spirit, even in the middle of a storm, that's often God's fingerprint. On the other hand, if what you're feeling is driven by panic, fear, or confusion, pause and pray. God's voice doesn't rush, pressure, or bully you. It gently persuades. It quietly warns. It lovingly guides. Think of the times you've felt drawn to do something small, like call a friend out of nowhere. You didn't know why, but when you called, you found out they were struggling, feeling hopeless, or even on the brink of giving up. That's God using your intuition to be His hands and feet on this earth. Or remember when you felt uneasy about signing a contract or going somewhere, and later discovered that trouble was waiting for you there. That wasn't random. That was your divine intuition sounding an alarm. God's guidance is subtle but powerful. He doesn't always shout through miracles or visions. Instead, He plants quiet truths inside you. He places invisible threads that pull your spirit toward what is right. And sometimes, He protects you by closing doors you desperately wanted open. I know that can hurt. It can feel like rejection or failure. But looking back, how many times have you thanked God for doors that didn't open? Because if they had, you might have walked into pain you were never meant to carry. That's how God uses intuition to guide your destiny, even when you don't understand it in the moment. Another sign that your intuition is from God is that it aligns with goodness, love, and light. God will never lead you into something that violates your integrity or makes you harm others. So if the voice inside tells you to act out of bitterness, revenge, or selfishness, that's not God. God's guidance leads to growth, peace, and truth. Even when it's hard, it always leads you toward becoming your best self. I want you to know this too. Developing spiritual intuition takes time. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it grows. Start small. When you feel a nudge in your spirit, pause and pray. Ask God, is this from you? If peace follows, listen. If chaos follows, wait. God is not afraid of your questions. He wants you to seek Him in everything, including those quiet feelings in your soul. And sometimes, the answer will come in silence. You'll just know what to do. That knowing is sacred. It's God writing invisible words on your heart. And if you're thinking, but I've ignored my intuition so many times, I don't even trust myself anymore, I want you to hear me clearly. It's never too late to reconnect. God's voice is patient. He hasn't left you. Even if you've drowned Him out with noise, He's still speaking, still waiting for you to tune back in. If this is speaking to your heart right now, I'd love for you to write "I'm listening" in the comments. Let's fill this space with people who are choosing to listen to God's whispers again. And if you haven't yet subscribed, now's the perfect moment. Because we're going even deeper into how God shapes your path through your intuition. Let's keep going. In the next part, I want to show you why following God's intuition doesn't just protect you. It unlocks blessings and miracles you can't see coming. Stay with me. This might change the way you live your entire life. So now, let's talk about the beautiful part of this journey. How following God's intuition doesn't only protect you from harm, but leads you toward blessings, miracles, and divine opportunities you could never imagine on your own. I want you to imagine your life as a path through a vast forest. You can only see a few steps ahead, but God sees the entire trail. Where it leads, the obstacles along the way, and the hidden treasures waiting for you. Your intuition is like a lamp He places in your hand. It might not light the whole forest, but it shines enough to keep you moving in the right direction. When you listen to those gentle nudges, you open the door for God to orchestrate divine appointments. You meet people you were meant to meet. You walk into rooms you never planned to enter, yet find exactly what you've been praying for. You stumble upon ideas, connections, or resources that shift the entire direction of your life. But here's the key. Obedience. Listening is one thing. Acting on what you feel is another. God might nudge you to leave a job, even if it feels secure, or to step out in faith and start something new, to move to a new city, speak to a stranger, or pursue a dream that seems impossible. And yes, it can feel terrifying. Sometimes following God's intuition means stepping out without a map. You'll be tempted to stay where it's safe and familiar. But faith means trusting the one who sees beyond what your eyes can see. I've heard countless stories of people who followed an inner feeling, only to discover that God had prepared blessings on the other side of that obedience. A woman who felt compelled to show kindness to a stranger, and later discovered she'd saved someone's life. A man who turned down a business deal because of unease in his spirit, only to watch that company fall into scandal months later. When you honor the intuition God places in you, you place yourself under His divine covering. You begin to live a life not just of safety, but of purpose, adventure, and miracles. But let me be real with you. It won't always be easy. Sometimes following your God-given intuition means letting go of things you love, relationships, habits, plans you thought were perfect. It might even mean disappointing people who don't understand why you're changing direction. But you have to remember, your life is not random. You're here on purpose. You were designed for a divine destiny that only you can fulfill. God uses your intuition as a compass to keep you aligned with that destiny, even when you can't see the finish line. And here's the most incredible part. The more you follow His leading, the more confident you'll become in hearing Him. You'll start recognizing the difference between fear and divine warning, between your own desires and God's whispers. You'll move through life with a quiet assurance, even when everything around you seems uncertain. I want you to believe this today. You are not alone. God has not left you to figure things out by yourself. He is closer than your breath. His Spirit dwells inside you, speaking through your intuition to guide, protect, and bless you. So the next time you feel that tug in your chest, that unexplainable peace, or that gentle warning that stops you in your tracks, pause, pray, listen. You might just discover that God is writing miracles into your story, one whisper at a time. Before we close, if you felt God speaking to you through this video, please give it a thumbs up so more people can find this message. Share it with someone who needs to remember that God still guides His children. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos that will help you grow closer to Him every day. Thank you for spending this time with me. I pray that God will make His voice clear in your spirit and that you'll walk in the divine path He has prepared for you. Keep listening, because God is always speaking.